Have you ever been close to a woman and wondered whether the moment actually meant something or whether you were simply reading too much into it? There's a surprisingly important clue most people overlook. Not the touch itself, but what happens immediately afterward. Because attraction isn't a secret code hidden in one body part. It shows up in patterns: comfort, reciprocity, eye contact, distance, and whether she seems genuinely engaged with you. And once you understand those patterns, you can stop turning every small gesture into a guessing game. Imagine you're sitting across from a woman at a coffee shop. The conversation is easy. She laughs, asks questions, and keeps finding reasons to continue the interaction. At one point, your hands briefly meet while reaching for something on the table. That moment alone tells you almost nothing. What matters is what follows. Does she naturally keep the conversation going? Does she move closer on her own? Does she initiate small moments of contact later? Does her expression remain relaxed, or does she pull her hand away, increase the distance, or become noticeably more guarded? That difference is far more meaningful than the original touch. Here's the psychological principle behind it. People tend to feel safer when they believe they have control over their personal space. So when someone is interested and comfortable, you may see voluntary closeness and reciprocity. When someone is uncomfortable, you may see withdrawal, tension, or an effort to create more space. But there's an important distinction. Comfort is not automatically attraction. A woman can be completely comfortable around you and still see you only as a friend. She can also be attracted to you while being cautious about physical contact. Personality, culture, past experiences, and the situation all influence how someone responds. So instead of searching for one magical body part, watch for a cluster of signals. Start with proximity. If she consistently chooses to stay near you when she has other options, that can be meaningful. Maybe she sits beside you instead of across the room. Maybe she keeps the conversation going after it could naturally end. Maybe she turns her body toward you when you speak. None of these proves attraction. Together, however, they can create a clearer picture. Then look at reciprocity. This is one of the strongest clues because attraction is usually more revealing when effort moves in both directions. If you initiate every conversation, every plan, and every moment of closeness, you may be creating a story that her behavior isn't actually supporting. But if she also reaches out, asks personal questions, remembers details, suggests spending time together, or initiates harmless contact herself, the dynamic is different. You're no longer interpreting one isolated signal. You're seeing participation. Now consider what happens after a moment of physical closeness. Suppose you're walking together and your shoulders briefly touch. Instead of focusing on the contact, notice the next few seconds. Does she naturally remain beside you? Does she create distance? Does she become more engaged, or does the interaction suddenly feel strained? That reaction can tell you more than the contact itself. And here's where many men make a mistake. They treat physical access like a scoreboard. They think, she let me do this, so I must be getting somewhere. That mindset misses the entire point. Healthy attraction isn't about gaining access to someone's body. It's about discovering whether two people are becoming more comfortable, curious, and emotionally connected. That's why the face, hands, waist, or any other area should never be treated as a guaranteed attraction signal. Different people have completely different boundaries. Someone might casually touch your arm while talking and mean nothing romantic by it. Another person might rarely initiate touch at all, yet make her interest obvious through conversation, consistency, and effort. The deeper signal is not a location, it's reciprocity. And there's another clue that can be even more revealing. What happens when you give her space? If you stop pushing the conversation forward for a moment, does she bring something new into it? If you don't initiate contact, does she create a natural opportunity for closeness? If you leave the interaction open-ended, does she show interest in continuing it? Space can reveal intention because it removes pressure. A woman who genuinely wants more connection doesn't need to be constantly pulled toward you. She will often contribute something of her own. That could be a question, a message later, a suggestion to meet again, a playful comment, or simply choosing to stay engaged when she could easily disengage. And this leads to the biggest lesson. Stop trying to decode women like they're puzzles. Pay attention to patterns, respect boundaries, and give the other person room to show you what she actually wants. The most attractive confidence isn't the confidence to assume she's interested. It's the confidence to notice her response without forcing an interpretation. Because real connection doesn't require you to convince yourself that every gesture means yes. It becomes much clearer when interest is mutual, comfort is obvious, and both people are choosing the interaction. So the next time you wonder whether a woman's physical behavior means she's attracted to you, don't ask, "What body part did she let me touch?" Ask a better question: "Is she meeting me halfway?" That answer will usually tell you far more.